Welcome to the Creative Wandering Duo with Dave and Sandra Fisher.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandra, part of the Creative Wandering Duo. Welcome to my studio. Today I am working on making a few quilts, or quilt tops I guess. I'm not up to the point of quilting them just yet. So I'm going to show you a ruler here. It's a Creative Grids ruler, and I love this ruler. It is very handy to work with. The only thing you got to be careful is a lot of times your fabric, once you're finished cutting it, is on the bias. So starch your fabrics beforehand before you cut into them. As well, they're still in the big strips. Starch both front and back 2 or 3 times. It doesn't matter what kind of starch you use, just get them starched so they're very, very stiff, because you want to use a dry iron. If you use a steam in your iron, your bias edges are going to go wonky on you, and it's hard to pull that back in. I don't care how much steam you use or how much starch, they go wonky. So use a dry iron. Starch before you cut anything. Then this is a strip pattern, and you're going to make a tube out of your strips. So what I've done is I've cut 2 different colors, and I've got a plain background. So sew your strips together, then you sew this on. So you've got a long strip set. You got these strips sewn, pressed, then you sew on your backing fabric, and you sew down both sides. Okay, so that you've got a tube. And that's what you're going to work with. And this works best with 4.5 inch, I don't know if you can see that, 4.5 inch finished edge. So from here to here is a 4.5 inch strip, and that's what it works best with. Your other strips, as long as they equal 4.5 inches, it doesn't matter how many you use or what you put together. And the same on this side, you can use multiple strips depending what you want to do. Now there are patterns out there specifically for this ruler. So if you want to make a pattern that's already out there printed, there are patterns out there. Here it shows you too, there's some samples of different things you can make, different designs. So it's right on the ruler. And I imagine if you look up the Creative Grids double strip ruler, you'll find more patterns online. So, but I'm going to show you how to use it, how to cut your sewn together strip, and then I'll show you the quilt that the quilt top I've been sewing together. So I have this strip on the table, on the cutting mat. Now you can cut from this side or you can cut from this side. That's your choice. And you do not have to press your seams open. I did. You could press them all to the dark side. I didn't. I pressed this open. I just wanted it to lay flat so it'd be a little easier to work with. And I think it'll be easier for you to see how I'm using the ruler if I have it from that side. Now I still have my selvage edge here, so I have to leave room for that. And I line the bottom of the strip up along here. Okay, along the very edge. There it shows the dotted line for that should be right on your stitching line. Now I am going to cut this way, and there's a big round hole here so you can get your cutter in there. Cut that way, cut that way, and that way. And I have 3 triangles. Now you got a little bit of stitching here which just pulls out, and you can press those. Okay. That's how quickly it is to make your blocks. And you just continue doing your cutting. Now here's my point. So again, I'm just lining everything up along the bottom, in that corner right to that point. Another 4. And are we going to get 2 more? I don't think so. Have a little bit left over that goes into your scrap bin. So out of that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 blocks. I like to have my rows stacked like this. This is my first block on the left side. So, and this is the sewing side. I always put the pin in the sewing side. You will work out what's best for you, and if you have to leave these up on your design wall and only take 2 at a time, do that. You don't want to have to unsew. Now, I don't care for these little tips, so I snip them off. So this is the first block, this is the second block. And I'm just folding those over, lining them up. Remember, this is a bias edge, that's a bias edge, that's a bias edge, and so is that. So very gently, no tugging. And I like to have my little piece of fabric in there as a thread starter. Helps to get my stitches straight, and I don't end up with a ball underneath of thread that I have to unsew. As you can see, I'm lining up these seams and just holding them down as they go through. And there is one row done. There, have 3 rows done. And I can tell it's right because I've got a light here, a dark, and a light. Dark, light, and dark. And that's the way I'll flip them. Oops, I made a mistake already. Can you see it? I flipped these. Not this one, this one. I've got it the wrong way. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to stay. It's a creative error is what I call it. Don't stress over the mistakes unless it's going into a show. This is for my own, and I'm not worried about it. I'm human. I make mistakes. If it was going into a show, yes, I would take that all apart. But the less stress I put on these seams here because of the bias, the less I'm going to unsew. Unless it's absolutely necessary. This is not necessary. I'm probably the only one that'll notice it. And you, because now you've watched me and I pointed it out. You make a creative error, don't ever tell anybody else about it. If they happen to spot it, you just smile and nod. Well, there you have it. That's what the corner looks like. I had 4 extra blocks, so I put 1 in each corner of the border. And all in a day's work. A very simple pattern, easy to do, and once I get stitching on the big machine, there's a lot. This is called negative spacing here, so I'll be able to put in some real fancy stitching in there and bring it to life. But thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy. This is my own design, other than using that ruler to do the stripping and get piecing the blocks cut properly the way I wanted them. The borders and everything else, so it's my own figuring it out. So you can take ideas from patterns and run with them. Make it your own. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Do all the things. And remember to stay real. Bye.